Welcome
Hi.
back to Ramblings of a Mad Guy. It's me, Reese. I'm the Mad Guy. I'm here with Jonna.
Yes.
Jonna Groneberg.
I'm also a mad guy.
Yes, the Mad Guy, Jonna. The Mad German.
Yeah, this is my first official podcast.
Oh, yeah.
For the 50 followers.
For
109
50
followers.
million future followers.
Yeah.
So watch what you say.
Yeah, true.
No, I'm kidding. Don't watch what you say.
How did you
actually.
start though? How many episodes did you do so far? I haven't listened to anything.
I've probably got like 50 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably about 50.
And is it mostly friends or family?
Mostly no guests. Mostly it's just me. But every now and again I have a guest.
Oh, no, sorry,
that
your
I enjoy.
listeners.
Oh, my listeners.
Yeah.
No, all the 109, I'd say maybe 15 of them are friends and family.
Okay.
At max.
That's cool.
That's on YouTube. And then when it started, it was just friends and family.
The
on Spotify and
podcast
stuff.
game is tough, right?
It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's
a
all
tough
about posting
world.
shorts and clips. Say something funny now. Quick,
Yeah.
go, quick.
I have a vagina.
Okay. All right,
I'm
so
really
no
worried
names.
about my heavy breathing. For anyone's listening right now, if I do a lot of heavy breathing,
We'll cut it out and post.
because when I do stand up, I'm always like, okay, yeah.
But you're good. You do a stand up and it comes across, so you're not heavy breathing. I don't hear any breathing. If I can't hear it, they can't hear it.
Okay.
And that's how I look at it.
Great.
But share this funny observation that you had that like you come to America, you've been here for how? I mean, I know you were back
Yes,
here.
let's
you went to
introduce
college
myself.
Here. Yeah. So if you don't want to do the whole history of Jonna, you don't have to. If you want to, I'll be interested in it. But essentially, you've been in LA, moved here from London for about a month. Is that correct?
3 months.
3 months.
But yes.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, yeah. For anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Jonna. I'm from Germany. I live in London, and I'm here for 3 months to do stand-up. It's 1 month left actually now, so it's crazy how the time flies when you're having fun.
The time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
Have you been having fun, or has it been weird?
It's
How does it compare to London?
LA is a fucking weird place. So I don't know if I even told you this, but I was here 9 years ago for the first time.
Oh wow!
9 years
I didn't
ago.
know that. Yeah.
And for New Year's Eve, because I studied in Alabama, we had the winter break, and then we just went to LA, me and some friends.
Okay.
And
From Alabama.
from Alabama,
There are closer big cities than LA, but
I don't know, 9 years ago, Southwest Airlines, you didn't have to
Oh.
pay for luggage. I don't know if you still don't have to pay for it.
probably not.
And it was just cheap and quick and great. And just like my sex life. I'm sorry, excuse me. And we flew to LA, and I had no money and thought it was going to be fine. And it was just a crazy trip. And
How long was the trip?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And we also stayed with a guy in San Diego. It was the couch surfing time. Did you also do it? When it was big?
No, not
No?
when it was big. I mean, you mean 9 years ago? I think I was 9.
Yeah, I think so too. I was 8.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's young to be in LA by yourself, 5 years old.
Yeah,
but anyway.
I was 4.5.
Yeah.
And,
Now I'm doing math. You're like, okay, so Jonna's 13. Everybody, just so you know.
yeah, no, that was crazy. And it's probably like too long of a story, but the one thing is I ended up on a park bench in Santa Monica by the walk,
Yeah. The
what do you call it?
boardwalk, I think. Yeah.
By myself, 12 o'clock midnight on New Year's Eve, sitting there, depressed without money, thinking
Whoa.
there would at least be a firework, some kind of firework, but
Yeah. No fireworks. They don't get very festive. They do the fireworks.
Yeah.
They do the fireworks on random days throughout
Yeah.
the year, and then they're all sort of burnt out by the January 1st.
Yeah, and that was my first LA experience, and I feel like it's similar.
Yeah, okay, so burnt out, midnight on New Year's, alone on a park bench. Has that basically been have you been making friends, or what?
Yes.
Clearly.
Clearly. No, I do. I always make friends everywhere because I talk to people a lot.
I've noticed that. Yeah, that's why I even if I thought that you hadn't been making friends, I would never have asked that question.
Thanks, Reese. I have no friends at all.
Yeah. Little social
Have you been
finesse
making
for you.
friends? Oh,
Okay,
that's
but
fine.
you made a friend recently, and you said something hilarious.
Wait.
Please.
Wait.
Okay, all right, let's get into it.
Not yet.
Okay.
First, I want to say that I think LA is always about like expectations and disappointments.
Yes.
Constantly.
Yes.
Just like me on that park bench 9 years ago, and now I'm on a sofa with expectations.
That's right. But a sofa is a step up from a park bench.
Yes, that is true.
Indoors.
Yes.
Homeless people aren't milling about. It's not quite as dangerous
Just
in here.
two cats.
Just two little.
She's gonna knock over the
homeless
camera.
cats. She better not. She knows
Kitty.
better than that.
Meow. Oh, cute. Hello. You're my friend now.
Yeah. They're in crazy.
Have you been making friends, Reese?
Yeah, I'd say I've got friends. The weird thing is, like, a lot of my friends came with me from New York.
Oh, yeah.
Which is such a weird thing. Like, I moved here. When I moved here, I had, like, maybe one or two people that I knew.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's like, oh, my other best friend moved here. And then my other best friend's moving here this summer. And then, like, through one of my really good friends that I was roommates with, I met, like, this whole network of people that I now feel, but none of them are comics.
Yeah, none of them are comics, and none of them are from LA, right?
And none of them are from LA.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely nobody.
Exactly,
One is from,
Sorry, people from LA.
Santa Barbara. It's like
Santa
they could be
Barbara,
from California,
yeah.
but none of them are ever
Yeah.
from LA.
And
That's
I
what
think
I'm
this is
noticing.
always the thing when I meet foreigners here, and they're like, oh yeah, fuck, I love LA. Or if they're just visiting, and they're like,
Yeah.
I want to move here.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and then you just hang out with other
Like people that are psyched about it.
people that are psyched about LA.
Yeah.
And not, yeah, it's...
Yeah. If you run with a crowd that's jaded and hates LA, they probably grew up here.
Yeah.
If they're psyched and they're gonna be a big star,
Yeah.
then they're from
I
South
agree.
Carolina. They're
I
from
didn't do my
somewhere.
nails before this, by the way. So sorry if there's any nail fetishes. Fetishes.
I don't think you have to apologize for those creeps. They'll figure themselves out. I'm not sure if they come to me for the nail fetish.
Just put some AI filter over it.
Oh, yeah, I will, yeah.
But I feel like that's the case in every big city. You come there and you just meet people from outside the city, and then you have a great time with them bitching about the people who are from the city. No matter if it's LA, Berlin, London, it's always like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there like, Berlin to me seems, so, at risk of alienating my entire audience, but like, Berlin seems so different from the rest of Germany. Do you agree with that?
Why did you say you're alienating your audience? Do you think
They've
haven't
never
been to Berlin?
to Germany. They've never been to fucking
Okay.
Germany.
Comment below if you've been to Germany.
Yeah, comment below, like and subscribe if you've ever been to Germany.
And make sure you hit the bell button.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's a good one. I'd never say that, but you do.
Fuck the bell
that is
button.
helpful.
I never pushed that
I've never
one.
pushed it once.
Yeah.
Only for one guy, but we don't have to go to that. But
I push other bells.
we've got enough bell pushing going on in our personal lives. I don't need to know when Mr. Beast.
Do you know what's funny though? Because bells in German are Glocken.
Glocken. Yeah.
And that's a nickname for tits, for
Really?
breasts. Yeah. And also,
I guess a tit is sort of like a bell.
yeah.
It's more a bell
And
than
there's
a
like
tit.
a little nipple
making
the bell sound. Sorry,
Yeah,
parents,
no,
if
there
you're
is. Oh,
listening.
is that the nipple? I was thinking like the top.
Depending on how old that lady is, I guess.
True. Yeah. Yeah. If they're sagging way down, that they're clanging together with like fucking. If she's from LA, she's got implants, and they really do make a fucking clanging sound.
And then also, you call balls.
Yeah.
We call them Eier, which
Eier,
is
eggs, yeah.
Because for those of you who don't know, Reese speaks German.
Ja, genau.
Sehr gut.
Nur ein bisschen.
Ein bisschen. No, he speaks really good German.
That would really. Should we do the rest of the podcast in German? Should I really aggressively alienate my?
Because we're all very angry.
Why do I speak German? Is because
For those who don't know.
Because I really found Spanish like boring and detestable after like 8 years of taking it and not learning a single.
Sorry to all the
freaking
native
word.
Spanish people. He didn't mean that.
They know. Because look, if I was learning Spanish in Spain, if I was learning Spanish in Mexico, in South America, somewhere,
I get you.
It would be like, fuck yeah, it's the culture, it's having fun, we're having a great time, we're going out and dancing and the Latin, whatever. I learned it
From
starting
Mr.
in
Smith.
second grade. Yeah, from what was her name?
Dos cervezas, po favor.
Literally, Mrs. Smith. She was our Bible teacher and our Spanish teacher.
What's her name? Actually, Mrs. Smith.
It was like very close to that. If it wasn't Smith, it was like Johnson. You know what I mean? It was not
very close.
It was not Senora. Something beautiful. I don't even know. See, that's how little I learned. I can't even think of a Spanish last name.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Rodriguez.
The only thing I remember from 8 years of taking Spanish in elementary school was watching the entirety of Anne of Green Gables in English.
Yeah, shit. Oh,
It's
God.
like 8 movies about a girl that lives in fucking British Columbia in Canada on some little island, and like her love of her life goes to war and she becomes a nurse.
Yeah.
We watched it in English. That was our Spanish class for 8 years.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's,
So I hated Spanish.
Yeah,
I was like,
fair enough.
I was like, it's just like English. I can do Spanish. It's just English. It's just
sad,
Canadian
isn't
English.
It's all about the teacher, the professor. It's really, it's tragic.
So then I got to high school and I was like, well, could do French, but it's a little similar to Spanish, and I don't know. I wasn't really feeling French. I still don't really identify with French that much. But the only other language was German or Japanese, which I was like, I really am not going to do that because that seems fucking hard. And I thought people would make fun of me for being an anime nerd.
I have a friend who asked me, like, what's your first thought that pops into your head when you think of anime? And I'm like, porn. Obviously.
Literally.
And he's like, no, it's not true.
It's about the storylines.
And I feel really bad because I know a lot of people who are into it.
Yeah.
And it's a huge thing for them. And
no. Trust me, you're on the right channel here. I made an entire video called "Anime is for Incels," literally, and all the commenters were incels. Are like, "That's not what anime is about." But listen, this is my point. It's
I would never think of incels. No, I would think of like innocent little sexually unexperienced, not little.
Yes.
Innocent sexually unexperienced people.
And why don't they have sex? Do you think?
Because I feel like they live. Okay, sorry. This is all. We're gonna get canceled for this, but
you're not. Trust me. I've gone as far as you can go in this.
In my
category.
head, it's someone who's just like in a dream world.
Yes.
Imagining his dream woman to be that lady with the big eyes.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly. And in a way, his celibacy is involuntary.
Yeah, but I'm judgmental and horrible.
No,
you're not.
No, you're absolutely right. Well, this is my thing. Okay, so I do actually watch anime. I like it. I think it's cool when it is, but I have a huge problem. And then I wank off. I mean, I'm rock hard the whole time, but I have a huge problem with it, which is that like, okay, so anime is like
there's
structured.
There's no group sex in it?
Yeah. No, there's too much fucking group sex. There's way too much like, okay, so you'll have like this perfect ideal hero and he does everything right. He makes every choice exactly correctly.
Is it always a man?
It's usually a man. Okay. Actually, it's almost always a man. You could throw that in there.
Yeah.
And he is portrayed as like the enlightened figure that even if he doesn't get everything right, he happens into the correct choices all the time.
Okay.
And he also wants to fuck his sister. And he sneaks into the bathhouse and spies on the ladies.
He actually wants to fuck his sister.
There's so many of these characters that have like this weird like sexual tension with their sisters.
So there is a weird perviness in there, for sure. Okay.
One of them was about playing basketball.
Oh, God.
One of them was called Kuroko No Basket, and literally the incels are gonna go crazy. But like, it's about playing basketball.
I love that you have incel followers, by the way. That's my favorite part.
I don't know if they follow, but they do comment. Whenever I talk about this,
I think I'm an incel. If I was a man, I would be an incel. Anyway.
Yeah, it's a tempting lifestyle. You can fall into that very easily.
Yeah.
I think I could have even fallen into that.
Blame everyone else. Yeah, I do that all the time.
Everybody else, nothing's my fault. Anything.
Sorry, by the way, I have ADHD thoughts. I'm not saying I have ADHD, but I'm always like going to another new topic. So if you want to come back to something I said 10 minutes ago, please do.
I will. And don't think I forgot about this fucking story that you told me right before. It also doesn't help when these guys are like running around like crazy.
I love it. Yeah, the cats are going nuts.
They raise the energy of the... they'll calm down in a sec.
So we had Spanish and German. We had incel porn, manga. Yeah. No, not manga. Sorry, what's the difference between anime and manga?
I think manga, and I'm really going to expose myself here. Manga is the... like comic book version, like you read it.
Oh, okay. So
which I've never done. I've never done that.
Sticky pages.
It's harder to jerk off to manga because you only have. Yeah. Well, I guess you still have one hand. You could hold it like this. Yeah, you can't turn the page. That's
okay. I'm just gonna think of sticky mango from now on.
Yeah. That's a good mnemonic device. You can use that to remember the difference. And then anime is for, just like Americans, white
just
kids,
like
people that just want to watch too. Yeah, it's like softcore versus hardcore. Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
It's true.
Oh, if anyone who's listening is like offended, please tell us what it's really about. Then please, inform us, let us know.
Well, this is what I say. Okay, so I've also made videos. I've made a few videos. Most of them have like decent like percentage. A couple of them have like gotten railed by critics on YouTube.
This is my question for you, because this is the one reason I feel like I could never do a podcast, because I would forget that I'm recording myself and would just ramble and talk bullshit and then get canceled after 10 minutes because...
The thing is, you don't get canceled. You never get canceled.
I know, you can't get canceled if you're not even out there. But
it's like, yeah, exactly. But even if I do get out there, and what are they going to say? He thinks anime is for insult. He didn't like Bill Burr's new movie.
Exposing your own stupidity.
Yeah,
I would be ashamed
I don't
of
mind that. Yeah, that's something you just get over.
It's like reading your Facebook posts from 10 years ago, and you're like, oh my God, I posted that.
Oh yeah, and there are videos that I look back on and go, but I'm not going to delete it.
Have you ever said anything in an episode where people were like educating you afterwards?
They thought they were, but they weren't. I mean, and let me tell you that, like, so I watched the Bill Burr movie, Old Dads, right?
Okay. Oh,
I think it's his directorial debut.
I watched the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Worst piece of shit I've ever seen as a movie. Not the worst movie I've ever seen. It's not the worst movie. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but it was not good, not interesting, and completely played out and trite. It felt like an old man at the bar yelling at you for being young, and you're like, okay, move on. So I said that, and then literally that's my most viewed video.
Yeah.
10% like to dislike ratio, which means that, like, you know,
because
I got, like,
they love Bill Burr.
Yeah, they just love Bill Burr. They're like, you're exactly the problem. You're what he's talking about.
It's funny when people put like someone they like on a pedestal,
yeah,
and you can't criticize their work anymore. Like, I'm not hating the person.
No, and I said that in the video too. I was like, he's one of the greatest comics to ever live. I love his comedy.
And I fancy him a little
stand
bit.
Up.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have that problem per se. the old bald guy. Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, so people thought they were educating me, like, well, actually, you didn't understand the point of the movie. It's like, no, I understood the fucking point.
Yeah.
Then this was my thing. I'm going through all these people.
Offended about everything these days. And by people, I mean Americans.
Yeah, it's true. Other people in other countries, I don't know if it's the language or whatever. Like, our language is structured in some way that,
Where do you think this whole, like, being offended as an American comes from? Where did it start?
Privilege.
The whole Karen thing.
Privilege. You get bored. You get bored being the top, wealthiest, no problems at all. You create your own problems.
Do you think it started in the last 10 years, or was it always?
It started with the baby boomer generation.
Okay.
And continue. I'm not saying like they're the devil and they need to die. No, it started with them, and we have almost made it
plural.
worse. Yeah, devil. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, devils.
And God hates them.
And God hates. Oh, God.
Just kidding.
Gods.
Just
plural.
kidding. There is
I'm
no
Hindu.
God.
No,
just kidding. Sorry. Love y'all. God bless
they
America.
don't care about that. No, I mean that you can't get canceled for that. You could tell God to go fuck himself on camera now. Like, that used to be a big problem in like the 50s. Like, you could not say anything against God and shit. Now it's almost like you can't even say that you are Christian without people being like, fuck this guy.
I like what you said, though, that like the
babies.
Boredom of, like, when you're privileged, you get bored. It's like, oh, let's be offended about something. Yeah.
Totally. Because they have there's just no like resistance in your life at a certain point. Or and you notice that, like, the people in America that are struggling are not offended by anything.
And I think also people with too much time.
Yes, it's too much time.
I mean, I'm the same. If I have too much time, I think about every possible thing that I shouldn't be thinking about. So, but one more thing about the movie.
Yeah.
Just in general, I do, even though I agree with you, I think it's so hard these days to really critique a movie.
Yeah.
Because I did work in post-production for a bit.
Oh, so movies are infallible in your...
And I just witnessed how many people are involved in just...
True.
Not even a movie, just like a fucking TV series,
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
And how many people want to change the title, want to change that scene, want to change that.
It's true.
And so whatever the idea is in the beginning, compared to what ends up on the screen, it's a completely different thing. And so many people are involved. And I feel sorry for... The best thing is always just a little indie movie from a small team.
That, like, one guy made.
Or one gal. Yes.
Exactly. I mean the royal guy. The royal guy. Both genders.
Just like
all 167 of them.
Any them out there.
Yes, exactly. Any them. Yeah.
Just some creative people. Like, if you and I sit down, write a funny script, and we have like a little team, friends.
Then just like make it,
have fun.
Yeah.
and then maybe just fucking put it on YouTube
Yeah.
or something. I think that's
what I think the future of movies is. That's what I
Hopefully,
hope the future
yeah.
of movies is, because you're right that there's a trillion people all with little creative notes doing this and that is a great thing in the sense that it's like the most collaborative art. You know, there's all these specialists
Yeah.
coming together to make something great. But the problem is, like, when you have a shitty concept to begin with, then that just compounds and compounds.
By the way,
and
I
becomes
love
fucking
this.
lot.
I love the very thing we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Talking about we're talking about the movie industry.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, this was
While
going to
we're
be my
sitting on a
thing
couch.
for the people that were commenting.
Who the fuck do we think we are?
Exactly. But I made a follow-up video to that where I was like, fuck you guys, like what, like, and I called out the specific commenters and I went to their channels and not a single one of them had posted a single video ever. So I was like,
about anything. Yeah.
So you're telling me I shouldn't speak, and yet you don't even speak. So who's gonna talk in this world, right?
know.
But that's what we're doing right now. I'm saying it's fucking easy to make a movie. Fuck you, Bill Burr. It's easy to make a movie. You know, I'm not trying to say that.
Did
but
he make? So he directed it.
he wrote, directed, starred in it.
Really?
And
He wrote it.
I think he had a writing partner, but yeah,
okay.
I think he wrote it.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it, knowing that.
Watch it if you can get through it. I had to fast forward certain parts because I was
Yeah.
just like, this is just cringe. But
I have to say, a lot of these old male comics, Ricky Gervais included, who I love,
yeah,
they keep doing their same kind of shtick.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's you have to change it after 10 years, 20 years of doing kind of the same.
You gotta
jokes
switch
about
up.
the same
You just
people.
can't turn into the old guy at the bar that won't let you go to the bathroom because
You can,
he's
but is that what you want?
Sure, you
know what I
can,
mean?
but they suck.
Yeah.
You know, you don't.
Yeah.
Even on a personal level, you don't want that. You're just getting bitter and angry, and then you suddenly have like pitted yourself against the new generation.
Yes.
But it's like, guess what? They're here.
Yeah, they're here.
You're the one that's on the way out.
And you were once the young generation.
And you were once, and
know?
you didn't want to sit and listen to that old fuck at the
Exactly.
bar either. So why do I want to watch a movie about it?
Who did I had this conversation with a friend of mine here recently that I was like, yeah, but we're going to be like this. Like right now, we're talking, but I'm
going to resist it as much. That's why I'm so
hope so.
animated about it right now, so that in my own mind later, I resist that and never fall prey to that. It's a fallacy. It's a trap. You think everyone should be exactly like you and like how you grew up. They should grow up that way, right? So they say stuff and they make that
I think it's
content.
very important to always question yourself.
Yeah.
And if you have kids, listen to your kids.
Yes.
I think a lot of parents think they know it all.
Yeah.
And I only know a few parents from some friends who really listen to what the kids have to say and like think about their actions or maybe, apologize for what they've done 20 years ago. But most of parents, especially in Germany,
You must be. I was actually going to ask you about this. Is one of my. So it's funny that we stumbled upon this, but like, okay, what is the deal in Germany when do they decide that you're either going to Gymnasium, Grundschule, or?
Look, that's funny. Okay, so we're talking about the school system.
Yeah.
The German school system is, and I have to say, it did change again. It changes all the time. So right now, I don't actually know 100% what the case is. And also, we do have the 16 Bundesländer, like states.
Yeah, the states,
And
have
they
different
all
sort of systems.
Yes,
Okay,
they
that
all
makes
have
sense.
different systems. So where I grew up in the north near Hamburg, it was you go to elementary school for 4 years, grade 1 to 4.
Yeah.
Then you go to the Orientierungsstufe, which literally translates to orientation
test or like
Stufe is like pedestal, like you're almost in the middle where you you orient orientate yourself.
It's a weird word, but yeah, you like figure out. But that's my thing. It's like, okay, so what? You're
and
8
honestly,
years
those
old?
2
How
years,
old are you? When
those 2 years, all I remember was having to take that horrible bus, getting bullied.
Yeah.
It was not orientation. It was just a horrible.
And
it
how
was
old
a nightmare.
Are you? 10 years old or something?
Yes. So we go to school when we're 6.
Yeah.
And before that, kindergarten, which I only went to for a year. So
yeah, you guys you created kindergarten. We love that over here.
It's the whole concept of like, and preschool here.
Yeah.
When is the earliest you would send your child to something like that if you're not working? If you are lucky enough to have free time.
Yeah, I mean, people will try to get their kids out as quick as possible, but I think they won't even accept kids that are less than like 4 years old.
Okay.
That's I think when I went was I was four, maybe five.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was 5. I went for a year to kindergarten. Didn't speak to anyone. Was always scared. I
Yeah.
was super shy.
Yeah, kindergarten's weird.
Then elementary school for 4 years. That was fun. That was like in a local little cute school with the
Great.
people from your village.
Yeah.
And then the 2 years of orientation school, which were in the next village. So you had to take the bus.
And you didn't know anybody, and there's all, yeah.
And suddenly and this is only my case, I was exposed to like the rude, cool, bully kids from the bigger
From the
town.
bigger village. Their Dorf had more bars or whatever.
Yes.
I mean, what the...
Dorf means village, by the way. And then after those 2 years, so ridiculous, your teacher
Yeah.
would give you a recommendation of where he, literally one person thinks, I mean, based on your grades, obviously, but...
He's like, you're going to be a dentist, you're going to fix plumbing, you're going to...
But the good thing about Germany is your parents could still then be like, fuck you, we're going to send our kid to the best school if we believe you're full of shit and our kid is
that's
smart.
Good. At least they do that. Do parents ever do that? Do they like go against the...
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I didn't know that was like part... Because in my head, I'm like, I heard about all this. I'm like, okay, so you're 10 and they're going to decide whether you're smart or not?
I haven't even thought about it till today that obviously you don't have that. You all just go to high school, right?
We all go to high school. You do as well as you can in high school. You try to get into the best college you can.
So even if you're very dumb or you're very smart, you go to the same
all go to high
classroom.
School. Yep.
And you learn
the high schools do like delineate, like within the high school, they have a lot of places called like AP classes.
Yeah.
So those are like higher level classes.
Okay.
So like if you stand out or even if you're dumb and you want to stand out and like get smarter or whatever, you can within the high school go to the bigger classes.
Okay.
But like you all have the same homeroom, lunchroom. You all have the same, like technically the same possibility of becoming a doctor or whatever.
That's so socialist.
Yeah,
of America.
it is. I know. Well, I know. It's so surprising. It's like compared to everywhere else.
Yeah, we're all the same.
We're all exactly the same.
And Germany in that sense is very classist because obviously the dumb kids are just from less privileged families.
Yeah, they just don't have books or whatever. Their parents aren't reading them Mozart or playing it while in the womb.
And so the kids who went, then you have Hauptschule, Realschule, and Gymnasium, the 3 options.
Yeah.
And the people who go to the Hauptschule, your cat, that's so funny.
He's very vocal. He likes to sing.
Is it a girl and a boy?
Yeah, so the black cat is a boy.
Okay.
And the Charlie is a girl.
Cute.
Yeah.
Kitty, meow, meow, meow. Yeah, and so those are the 3 schools, and then Hauptschule is only I think 4 years, and then you do your apprenticeship after, which is more like It's a very old-fashioned kind of system. It doesn't really work like that anymore because people don't want to work with their hands anymore, and and then
tough.
Hello and thank you for watching that great interview with Jonna. I hope you enjoyed. I know it cuts off weirdly and randomly at the very end there, and that is because I'm filming on my phone whenever I do stuff like that, which is not ideal, to be clear. One thing that would really help me, which I really want to do, and I will do anyway, even without any of your support, but the support would be much appreciated, is up the quality of everything. Video, sound. I've already started with sound. Hopefully it's sounding a little better. I know that in that video is not a good example of that, but in general, moving forward, it will be. But if you'd like to sort of aid in that effort and help me along, a like, a subscribe, hitting that little notification bell, sharing it around with your friends, those are all great ways to help me constantly evolve and make a better and better product for you guys. So please, if you enjoyed Jonna and her comedy, she's all over the world doing comedy. That's something us open micers in LA we like to do. We someone will have basically an hour of material and then be like, I'm basically a headlining comic all over the world, because they went on a vacation to Mexico and did an open mic there. That's not Jonna. Jonna is a world-class comedian, found in London primarily. She's here for another month, whatever that means to you. And she'd be happy to have your follow and your support over on her Instagram page. And so I'll link that in the description. Thank you. Much love, much peace. Everybody stay safe. Enjoy.